Hello and welcome to I24 News Sports World Cup show covering every aspect of the tournament in Brazil. We're joined today in the studio by Motele Spiegler, star of the 1970 Israeli World Cup squad, and Uriel Daskal from Kalkali's daily and website. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
Hi.
A lot of action coming up. Let's begin. We begin with Group F that completed last night with the weakest match we have seen in this World Cup. It was the first draw in the tournament, no goals between Iran and Nigeria, and judging by what we have seen from Bosnia against Argentina, don't be surprised to see the Iranians and Nigerians pack and go home right after the first round. There were big expectations from the opening match of Group G, but only one team really showed up. Germany thrashed Portugal 4-0. Thomas Muller scored a hat-trick. Cristiano Ronaldo was nowhere to be seen. Pepe saw an early red card. Contrao left the pitch injured, and Portugal is in trouble. Their next match is on Sunday against the United States, who beat Ghana 2-1. The Stars and Stripes looking for a second qualification in a second successive World Cup. Motele, we were sitting here yesterday. We spoke about the problem that teams may have when they depend on one sole star. We saw that with Portugal.
Listen, the problems of Portugal started, I think, before the game. To start with Ronaldo after a long injury and putting in Almeida, who left the pitch after 15 or 20 minutes, this was a wrong decision. And then whatever happened with Pepe and the injuries of Contrao and so on, Portugal showed the ugly face of themselves because they could do better, they should be better, but Ronaldo was ready, but he was not fit. And as we said yesterday before the game, you can't win alone. This is a collective game, and he did not do his best for the team.
We have to remember, Ronaldo was at its best perhaps in February, in March. He wasn't really playing the past 2 months. He was on and off. Now, Portugal faced the US for the next game. They have to win that game, but they will do it without Pepe, without Contrao, the two pillars of their defense.
I'm sure that Portugal will play much better against United States, but don't forget United States won yesterday and they have already 3 points. Klinsmann will make another trap for the Portuguese, and it all depends how Ronaldo will be fresh in his head, and I believe that they are still in the picture because they will not go home so early without showing what they are capable.
Now, Uriel, let's give our respect to the winners also. Germany, a very strong side. You know, we speak of the fact that they haven't won the tournament since 1990, but they have been at least in the semifinals in the last 3 tournaments. Is this a team to finally make that one leap forward?
Well, you look at the age of the players, and right now in the greatest part of their career. I mean, they are all in their peaks, and they can all they all have experience. They all won the Champions League or were in the final of the Champions League.
Bayern Munich and Dortmund, they are based on German players.
Exactly, and they have the experience in the World Cups, in the Euros. I think they know exactly what they need to do, which is very important.
Now, the United States, where we saw them beat Ghana, scoring that early goal, their team is not full of stars, but yet it seems like they're capable of getting that good result against Portugal, especially when they come without their defenders, and maybe securing their spot in the second round as early as the second game.
Yeah, you can see they play for the manager, they like the manager, they're excited. They're not the most talented bunch, but they're experienced, and I think they have a really good chance to get a good result against Portugal.
And well, a German team doing good, a German manager on the other team doing good. Germany looks very, very strong, Motele.
They were always serious. They won every few years the title. They are good in their league. They have every game average of 60,000 spectators. Football is the game where everyone knows what he should do, and when they come against a poor Portugal side, they just, they play them off.
Yeah, I think they look ruthless. They know exactly what they want to do and how to do it, and they're doing it well.
It was a feeling like Germany
Just
doesn't want to
field.
waste all the goals they are going to score this championship.
And the action in Group G drew obviously a lot of attention from the fans who were quick to post their views in the social media. Here's Mirav Savir with our tweet deck.
Forward to the game. Germany versus Portugal. We thought it was going to be one of the best games of the tournament, but Jesse Cano said it best. They said that the Germany versus Portugal game was going to be a good game, But it was a massacre. And as fans have pointed out, it was all because of Mueller. So far, Mueller is leading the games with the most goals, even more than some of the biggest stars combined. But the biggest star on the field, well, as Paromita says, quote, "There's a guy called Ronaldo, but Germany did not seem aware of his existence at all. The only thing he showed all game was pure frustration." People celebrated in Brazil, but back in Germany, there were probably thousands of photos snapped yesterday in the streets. This one is just one of them. Fans pouring into the streets of Berlin, proud of how their team performed. But of course, we also had to have some fun with the red card handed out in the first half. Pepe's headbutt immortalized in Legos. His absence, though, arguably had a profound impact on the team's performance. The other big game of the night, USA versus Ghana. We've spoken about it several times so far. The U.S. doesn't have many football fans, but as journalist E.J. Dion sees it, millions of new American soccer fans created tonight. John Brooks, first American to score off the bench in a World Cup. And as we just mentioned, John Brooks making history for the U.S. and making a name for himself. And people noticed and already changed his Wikipedia page, as Sports Nation points out. John Brooks is a German-American footballer. He's the greatest American since Abraham Lincoln. And I'm pretty sure Abe was also great on the field. But for a country with its own version of football, John Brooks definitely gave Americans plenty to cheer about and brag about with a sport that has been struggling to catch on.
Now we turn our attention to the matches coming up tonight. Group H will be the last one to get into action. Russia, the host of the next World Cup, will face South Korea in Curitiba. Earlier in Belo Horizonte, Belgium will meet up with Algeria. There are big expectations from the Belgians. They have been absent from the World Cup for the past 12 years. Now they're back with a very talented squad. Lise Barenbaum and Daniel Roth introduce us to one of the most exciting teams in this World Cup.
Is this the year for Belgium? The Red Devils arrived in the country of samba full of hope. Yet Mark Wilmot's selection has a long journey. When the coach took over the team in June 2012, it was ranked only 54th in FIFA's rankings. Today it sits pretty in the 12th spot, and it possesses one of the most talented generations of Belgian players.
It's difficult to say. I'd like to think there's a bit of luck in it, because we're a small country and our facilities were not prepared for this yet. But as this generation comes through, then you see that people start believing in the fact that we can produce those kind of talents.
With a generation of gifted players that are evolving in the best European clubs, Team Belgium may be experiencing its golden age, with young prodigies like Lukaku, Hazard, or Courtois, but also with experienced players such as captain Vincent Kompany or defender Daniel van Buiten. Even some former world champions believe in the achievement of the Belgian team.
The Belgium team, I think they have a chance to be to do something good, because they're very nice players.
Belgium is back at the World Cup after 12 years of absence. Even before the finals, they accomplished a great feat by remaining unbeaten in the qualifying games. But Belgian players lack experience in the final round of the World Cup.
It's been a long time since we've been here, and it's been a long time since our fans trusted us. The fans are behind us. It is the most important thing, and we're here too. And everyone is confident, and I think it'll be fine.
Belgium is the favorite in its Group H, which includes Russia, Algeria, and South Korea. But they aren't as good as teams competing in other groups.
Of course, we're not the favorites, but it doesn't mean that we don't stand a chance to win. Our mindset is our strength, and the more we work on our spirit, the better we get, the more likely we will be to surprise others by winning.
Will the Red Devils be the dark horse of this World Cup? Their journey starts tonight.
Motele, I remember the 1986 World Cup. They made it to the semis. Enzo Schifo, big stars. Then they disappeared. Where did they come from? They have not been on the stage for 12 years. Suddenly, all these stars, where were they raised?
12 years ago, Wilmot, the coach, the manager, was one of the greatest players at that time. And all this young generation, they were at that time like 9, 10 years old, Hazard and the others. They just had vision, and they built something. They worked hard for 12 years, no big headlines, nobody knew about the Red Devils, and now they are back. They grew up together. The best players in Europe coming from Belgium into the first league in England, in Spain. They are everywhere. When they get together, and the head of them is Wilmot, who has the experience. He was there. He felt it like Didier Deschamps. This gives a lot of courage and inspiration for the Belgian team.
And Uriel, I want to ask you, Belgium will probably finish this group first, then second round, whether it's Portugal or the US, a team they can handle. Then it may be France, it may be Argentina. Can they beat teams of that caliber?
Well, we'll have to see. But I think the Belgians see the game as fun. They have, in their football association, they have this pillar of thought that players should learn how to play football through fun. They make, they have brain experts and education experts to raise those children, to groom them to be players. And it's all about fun for them. And I think they're going to try and have fun. And the pressure will be off, and I think they'll be doing all right, even against big teams.
Well, it's very, very interesting to see all those players, Eden Hazard, Romelu Lukaku, what a striker, all that and more. We'll have to see about Belgium. And the second round of matches will also begin tonight when host Brazil face Mexico in Fortaleza. Both teams won their first match. Brazil was not very impressive against Croatia, and who knows how their game would have ended without the help of the referee. This time around, Brazil knows they will have to put on a lot better show.
On paper, Brazil couldn't have hoped for a better start to their World Cup campaign. But the host country's 3-1 win over Croatia wasn't without controversy. An own goal put the Europeans ahead in the 11th minute before Neymar equalised. Then a bitterly disputed penalty saw the home side take a morale-boosting lead, changing the course of the tournament opener. Brazil will be hoping for a more convincing performance when they take on Mexico in Fortaleza on Tuesday. But they know it won't be an easy ride. Mexico also celebrated victory in their opening Group A game, beating Cameroon 1-0.
This next game against Mexico will definitely be as great a challenge as when we played them last year in the Confederations Cup. We'll give it our best shot to try to beat them. And it will be a different game to the one we played against Croatia, so we'll train hard to win and qualify.
One major advantage for the players is the crowd will be on their side, and the atmosphere in Fortaleza is likely to be electric. It's a game not to be missed for local boy Hulk, who's battling a hamstring problem and is rated doubtful to start.
When we make our way to Nordeste, we're welcomed like heroes. When our fans see us, they throw a big party for us. We're always welcomed with open arms over there.
Brazil will be looking for the same result as in last year's Confederations Cup clash when they saw off Mexico with a 2-0 win at the very same venue. But there will be at least one change, with star striker Neymar sporting a brand new hairstyle.
Brazil. They were good. They were not very impressive. Are we going to see something different tonight than what we saw in the first game against Croatia?
I remember before the game against Croatia, I put a big question mark on the name of Neymar. Now, when he scored 2 goals, he's quiet. He's okay. My opinion is that Scolari will not play Hulk and Fred. He might put both of them on the bench and bring in these talented midfielders who you can choose from 8 players, anyone. And then the target man will be Neymar, and him, in a good day, he can win the game. But don't forget that they are playing against a winning side. Mexico did quite well against Cameroon, and it will be a very tough game, and a draw will not surprise me.
Now we want to see how the Brazilian defense does. Their offense, they did quite good against Croatia. Their defense was embarrassed again and again by Croatia with that own goal. And Mexico come with stars like Chicharito that can do it again and again this time.
I think the pressure is a bit off now for Brazil. They've won the big game in the beginning, and they are now looking, to capitalize. They know they need to get a result, and if they get a result, they will go through to the second round. I think Brazil will win it because they have much more quality than Mexico, and I think Fred won't play as well. You'll have Hulk. I think he will play, and maybe we'll see a bit more of Bernard, the young, creative winger.
Tricky player.
Yeah, tricky player, which played quite well when he came on, and him with Neymar is going to be a treat.
In many occasions, the sub players coming from the bench are making the difference. It happened with Switzerland. Both came from the bench, scored the 2 winning goals. This is important.
It happened with the US again last night. The substitute coming off the bench.
Yeah.
Does that mean the coaches, they sit on the bench and they see how they can...
It's not the team which starts the game, it's the team who finishes the game.
Yeah, that is more important. All that and more happening tonight. We'll see how Brazil does. We'll see how Belgium does. Very interesting to see. Motele Spiegler, Uriel Dascal, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And that's it for us today. Thank you for watching. We will be here again tomorrow to summarize another exciting night of World Cup action. Have a beautiful day.